Greetings and welcome to another edition of HiddenIncaTours.com video. Now this is the place that we'll be looking at today. It's located about 5 kilometers inside Peru at Lake Titicaca, just over the border with Bolivia, and the name of it is Quenuani. And actually, in fact, the name of the village where it's located is Quenuani. The name of this place specifically, I couldn't find out. I first saw photographs of it on the internet about 5 to 6 years ago, and it was only last year that I first visited, so this is actually our second exploration of this clearly megalithic site. What culture created it is unknown. Most people would say it's an Inca construction, but we don't find anything like it anywhere else, as far as I can tell, in the Inca world. And others would comment that it's a Tiwanaku culture creation, but again, nothing like this exists at Tiwanaku or Pumapunku. Now the material is volcanic. You can see that there's a volcano in the background. And the actual material is called Volcanic Tuff, which is a compressed volcanic ash created likely millions of years ago. And it's a relatively soft material, as you can see from these steps that I'm walking up. Erosion of the surfaces is very easy to do, unfortunately. And the general concept is that this is, or was, some kind of stadium. And you have this very curious semicircle here, which some believe would be the actual podium of the stadium. But the question is, a stadium made by who? And why is there this interesting cut channel that is right in front of the semicircle? So a stadium for who? When was it made? Unknown. Who made it? Unknown. Obviously a huge accomplishment by someone. Where the vertical and horizontal surfaces meet, there is an actual curve. So the groove, or the where the vertical and horizontal meet, is not a sharp right angle, but actually a slight curve. And we do see evidence of tool marks, almost like chisel marks, but the concept that this was done with hand tools is highly, highly unlikely because of the sheer scale of it. Now, of course, it does look somewhat like a stadium. These steps are the right size, more or less, for a normal-sized human being to sit down. And where it looks at is towards Lake Titicaca. And now we're going back to the semicircular area, and it does have, unfortunately it was too windy today to record it, but it does have astonishing sound characteristics. If you speak right at this point, especially if you're kneeling, then the sound of your voice is enhanced greatly. So quite amazing acoustic properties for a material that is not super dense. But once again, please try to look up Quenuani on the internet, and you'll see very, very little information. Most of the information is simply about the little town located here, but almost nothing about the megalithic site itself and who made it. Lots and lots of staircases located here, so that's why, of course, I'm on the ground giving you a view of what it's like to climb up. And we did spend at least 2 hours inspecting this place, and it's very, very odd. Again, you see the extensive weathering of the surfaces. So climbing all the way to the top, again with the ancient volcano in the background. And then looking down and walking down back to the farmer's fields that you see. Once again, the size of the stairs they're quite evenly spaced, even in terms of size. Very ergonomic for someone like me who's about 6 feet tall to be able to climb up and down. And this shows you where the so-called stadium faces. It stares right at Lake Titicaca, and also basically the ancient location of Tiwanaku and Pumapunku is directly to the south of this strange megalithic complex. And we did find this cave entrance. Not sure how far in it goes because the smell of the garbage that you can see was overwhelming, and people were also, of course, using it as a bathroom. And so now we've switched cameras, and this is my new little quadcopter called Horus, as in the Egyptian Horus. The Eye of Horus maybe should be a better name. And this will give you a much better perspective of the sense of scale and just enigmatic character of this very odd place that very few people visit. It's just off the main highway that connects Copacabana in Bolivia with Puno in Peru. So now the quadcopter is going to give us a much better look at this very odd, unique site located very, very close to Lake Titicaca in Peru. So it seems that there's nothing actually above it. I use the quadcopter, of course, to go up in the air to inspect the top, and there don't seem to be any more of these strange steps or seats or whatever it is you want to call them. And again, there's almost no information on the internet whatsoever about this very odd place. So there again is the semicircular area that has acoustic properties. This was filmed in October of 2018. And then this very complex series of curved stairs. And once again, the quadcopter goes up to see if there's anything above these stairs. So I'm very sorry that I don't have all that much great information about the location because I'm still stupefied about it. As I said earlier, I first saw photographs about 5 or 6 years ago and was only able to actually physically go there a little over a year ago. So once again, up above, there doesn't seem to be any more of it in terms of cut surfaces. There's Lake Titicaca in the background. And if you're ever near Lake Titicaca, you should visit this location if you can. So we're always in search of more ancient, strange, enigmatic locations such as this. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please do so because I have many, many more adventures coming up in the near future in different countries, not only Peru and Bolivia, but also Mexico and Egypt. And in September, we're going to Turkey. And in the coming years, much more to explore. India in January of 2020 as another example. And eventually Malta and other locations in the Middle East. So in another upcoming video, it'll be another exploration of this location called Amarumuru, which is also located near Lake Titicaca. And here is a related book at Amazon that discusses the Quenuani location, Lost Ancient Technology of Peru and Bolivia, Volume 2. And if you'd like to join us in upcoming 2019 tours, these are some of the tours that we are offering. The Inti Raymi Inca Celebration of the Sun Tour in June of 2019. The Elongated Skulls of Peru Tour in August of 2019. Ancient Technologies and Metaphysics of Turkey in September of 2019. And the Serpentine Mysteries Tour and Lost Ancient Technology of Peru and Bolivia in November.